What's going on? It's your boy DameSmiff, and let's get it cracking. So, this evening we're going to talk about a topic that's kind of outside of my wheelhouse, but I do understand it from the outside, and it's who you take pictures with and why it's important for artists. And if you're interested in conversations like this, make sure you hit the like button. And this will basically show other people who will enjoy this conversation that this is a cool video. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you can see my latest videos when they come out. So, who you take pictures with and why it's important as an artist. The basis of this point that I've heard of was that you don't want to be affiliated with people who are in some, nefarious activities, right? And so I heard it in a song, and he was basically mentioning that you want to be careful who you take pictures with in case the feds are looking for your RICO cases. But this got me thinking on like so many other levels where I've seen the same situation play out for entertainers and musicians, but it was like on a lighter level. So like you'll see a guy take a picture with a girl and people will assume they're dating. You'll see a producer take a picture with an artist and we'll assume a song is coming out. So there's a lot of different things that can happen with just a photo being released and published. And there's so many different, varieties of outcomes that can happen. So I do want to know what you think was like a photo that really changed your perspective of a person or the outlook of, a situation. So I do want to get into, let's say, the relationship aspect of it as an artist, and that's more so the networking side and not so much the romance side. So whenever you see I'll use female artists because it's a little more touchy for female artists, but when you see a female artist taking pictures with, let's say, a producer or another male artist, or even, a group, it can be another female artist, there's usually an assumption of a relationship there. And I use the word relationship to mean the literal definition of a relationship, not just a romantic one. So usually you'll see a situation of, I don't know, like a singer at a red carpet event, and the cameras just start going crazy. And whatever angle you see the picture will kind of tell you the story of maybe what's happening or whatever you can piece together about the artist based on the information you already have. Now, that's important and that's key because as an artist, you are in control of this to a point. So if you're up on your, let's say, social media and your fans are very interactive with you, this probably will almost never be a problem for you because you can just simply just have a conversation with your fans. But if you're more of a hands off kind of artist where you focus more on brand communication than direct communication, then you're going to have to really mitigate and control how a lot of this stuff gets out to the public, or at least how the public is going to view it if you care to be in control. So I'll give you two versions of this. You have a situation where, like, let's say like the classic rock star trope where like they go to a hotel and throw a party and trash the hotel. If photos of that comes out and, you see like a trashed hotel or like he looks drunk in the lobby and there's a mess everywhere, whatever, that could be terrible if he was worried about, let's say, getting booked at that hotel for a show. But if he does not care, then all that's really going to do is provide some kind of communication from his brand towards the audience or other businesses that receive it. So the other version of that is if a rock star has a crazy hotel party, but they are like live streaming it in real time, and you can see like everything happening and they're telling fans what's going on. There is almost no kind of guess on what the artist is thinking and what's going on as far as that situation. So you can't really fake it. You can't really fake it anymore. And that's why a lot of artists like that approach, because usually they're not in some crazy, party like that, but they are somewhere exciting where if you do see a situation that can be misconstrued, they can directly address it or directly deal with it. So let's say you're an artist and you prefer to do the brand communication situation. Like you prefer to kind of just go on Instagram, post a picture, and then just close the app and then check it out tomorrow, right? that means that whatever you post has to literally tell everything you need to tell without your input, without your extra input. Like if you're gonna post a picture, it can't be misconstrued. It can't be uh, misleading, and you have to know that it's not being misconstrued or misleading. You'll see this a lot where artists will post something on Twitter or something, or their Facebook or wherever it is personal to them, and they'll act clueless as if they don't understand why someone may either be offended by something they posted or maybe disagree with something they posted. That to me either is just straight negligence of your brand, meaning you don't know your audience, or that's negligence of the industry. Like you just don't know how social media works. So going back to, let's say, taking photos and things like that, just something simple like that. I think the biggest thing to think about is if you are gonna like just stand out in public, like outside of a club with a bunch of artists or bandmates and just take pictures, let it just be that, but just understand that you have to be ahead of it as far as like, let's say the bandmate you got has like an open case on something crazy. That is something you're gonna have to address. But you're not really gonna know that if you're just taking pictures with people in the club, which leads us to our next point, which is, should artists be taking random pictures with fans and bandmates and other artists and collaborators? My honest answer is yes, but it has to be in a business setting. You can't just be out and about at the grocery store and just snap a pic with your favorite artist anymore, because that now can be misconstrued or it can be bootlegged, and that's not ever cool. And then also it creates a kind of culture where people think that that's okay, and that's not cool. Like there's no group of people other than musicians, entertainers, politicians, and popular people that we just feel we can just invade their privacy, which is never cool, right? You always want to get consent and permission to do that, which is why I think it should always be in a business setting. So if you're at a concert and there's like a meet and greet, you can kind of, maintain the culture there. We're like, hey, let's go hang out with the fans and set it up to where it's safe and friendly and, healthy. But if you just want to go to Starbucks and you're at the drive through, don't just walk up to people's cars, don't bum rush them. Nipsey Hussle had to slap a dude in front of his girlfriend. It can get crazy. Like you don't want to have to do these kinds of things as artists, but it's a thing about A, safety, but B, we don't know who you are and what you're doing, and you may be crazy, you may be weird, and that's a thing that we got to worry about. You're not the only one in danger here. So I would say the last part I really want to stress too is that when it comes to trying to do this kind of thing as far as an artist and take it serious, just be in control. Just be in control of everything that you can. And if you're not in control of it, be aware that you're not in control of it. Don't try to act surprised when things don't go your way. So if you want to take a picture with groupies and things like that, you're not in control of what these photos will look like or what people will do with their assumptions. So just remember that, unless it's a business setting. So you'll see even Chris Brown had to make sure he was doing meet and greets, and that went off the rails and people were judging him and going crazy. So it's a touchy subject, but I think it's one that artists need to kind of understand. And my advice again is just be in control. So if this was helpful, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow evening, and I will try to get pretty much more information about how I can help you guys as musicians grow and be better musicians out there in the world. So I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.